Today, Massachusetts state lawmakers returned to Beacon Hill. This is actually the first day of the new session. There's no shortage of work ahead for them. There's, of course, the housing crisis, the continued concerns about the influx of migrants as well. There's also new gun control proposals and to debate, as well as, of course, a budget to pass. NBC Tim Boston's political commentator Sue O'Connell joining us right now. Sue, lawmakers have a lot to do on their to-do list, right? But
Sure.
it is worth pointing out, with the exception of the budget, that this is the same to-do list as last year
Yes,
in
it is.
2023. So why are we starting the new year focused on last year's business?
Because lawmakers are just like us, Colton. They didn't get it done last year. And according to Fiscal Note, an organization that keeps track of these sort of things, the Massachusetts legislature is the least efficient of all 50 states in 2023, and they barely were able to even approve the budget. Remember that, okay? So, for example, about 10,500 bills were introduced in the Massachusetts legislature in 2023, but only about 21 total bills were enacted. So why did Massachusetts lawmakers introduce the third highest total number of bills in the nation, yet enact the fewest? Well, some might say we have enough laws, and judging the lawmakers' success on the number of new laws passed may not be fair. But they missed the budget deadline again, and people had to wait for raises and money to address the migrant crisis. So they have plenty of work to do this year because it's last year's work and also this year's work. So I hope they're rolling up their sleeves, Colt.
I think we all hope that they're rolling up their sleeves. I want to ask you about something that you said earlier today.
Yeah.
We asked you, what their priorities should be, and you said gun control. Not housing, not immigration. Massachusetts has some of, the best gun laws in the country. So I'm curious why your take is gun control here.
Yeah, because there's actually the least amount of agreement on the issue among the lawmakers, even though we have a Democratic governor and a House and Senate controlled by the Democrats. And we live in a state, as you mentioned, where our gun safety laws are considered strong. There is an incredible amount of squabbling between the House and the Senate on the proposed gun legislation. So why is gun reform on the docket this year? Well, the last time the rules were updated was 2014. And the new reforms are going to be needed to comply with the 2022 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that was about who can carry guns where and when outside the home. So here's where we pick up. At the end of November, lawmakers heard testimony on 56 bills related to firearms, even though the House of Representatives had already passed a gun reform bill. But the Senate is expected to pass its own gun bill in 2024 with the hope of course, having it on Governor Maura Healey's desk by the end of July.
And with that, lawmakers will have to approve or deny State Auditor Diana DiZoglio's request to audit them. It would be a review of their practices and the procedures as well, so something that they've stood in the way before. But DiZoglio's gotten almost 100,000 signatures from voters who want to see the audit get done. So how do you see this shaking out?
Well, she's going to keep singing, apparently. DiZoglio has been singing as many places as she can, but she's definitely getting support from the public on this. And as you note, she's going to have enough signatures to move toward a ballot question. This was according to reporting by Politico. And the question is on the list that Secretary of State Bill Galvin submitted of the certified ballot questions to the legislature today. So what could happen next? Well, lawmakers could pass DiZoglio's initial measure or do nothing. And per my other answer, it's most likely they'll do nothing about it. Or lawmakers can cut a deal with DiZoglio to get her to drop the ballot question and agree to some sort of audit. So whatever happens, DiZoglio's State House audit is going to be a hot topic all year long, and she's just going to keep singing about it, Colton.
All right, well, let's hope that she finds the right key. Our Sue O'Connell, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Remember, of course, everyone, you can catch Sue O'Connell and Corey Smith every Sunday on our political show at Issue. The team there, they dive into political headlines happening in our area, also across the country as well. You can watch Sunday morning, Super Sundays, 11:30, right here on NBC 10 Boston, immediately following Meet the Press with Kristen Welker.